If you want to talk about it, that's fine. The guy who I put on hold, and probably because, and if you think I was out of line, putting him on hold, that's fine. But you don't start a conversation by saying, I don't listen to your show, bud. All right? That's not a good way to start a conversation. And it's insulting. All right? So I put him on hold because I wanted to still talk to him. But at that point, I had to chill him. All right? So here's the thing that he was trying to make the case that freedom of speech applied here, that you have a right to say anything you want. Now, I will readily admit that you are free to say anything you want, except, and Bill and I all know this, to yell fire in a crowded theater. But when you say something and disguise it as freedom of speech, should that speech be offensive to someone, then you should feel the ramifications of saying that. All right? Freedom of speech has a very defined line of what you cross. And so if you say some racial epithet in a bank line or something, you're free to say that, but there should also be ramifications to that, whether you get a negative reaction from people, or whether you get thrown out of the bank, or whether you lose your job. That's the point of this. It's not freedom of speech. Yeah, of course the guy can say anything he wants. But again, there should be ramifications to what you say at a particular time to whom you say it to. Now, am I wrong?
No, that was well said. That was well said. And just because something may not be illegal to do doesn't mean that you're not going to have consequences for it with your employer or with the public around. So I'm with you on this.
So it unnerves me that anyone would support the C-word utterer, because you know what I think of? When you defend something like that, that means you're protecting your right to do the same thing. And if you're protecting your right to do the same thing, then we're not eliminating it.
Yeah. That was in the YouTube chat. The person who was kind of defending it, the one person said, just don't call women that word and you'll be fine. What are you worried about? Don't use the word. Don't call some stranger because she's wearing a Green Bay Packers shirt that word, and you're going to be fine. It's ridiculous. All right. I know. Mike's all worked up.
No, I try to get, like, I don't know. I'm trying to reach a medium with people when it comes to issues like this, so we can all, like, be on the same page about certain things. Because if we're not, then society continues to be fragmented. And I'm all for a together society, right? So if you're going to defend harsh speech like this for freedom of speech, like, I want to know where you're coming from. Does that preserve your right to say it? Is that what you're afraid of? Giving up your right to call a woman the C word with 7 beers in you at an Eagles game? These are the things I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding it, too.
All right. You are listening to WPEN and WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, let's get to the Dan Orlovsky commentary, because he's being challenged by another quarterback here on his view. Orlovsky put out something yesterday where he examined tape and said, all these people that are on Jalen Hurts, look at what he's looking at. Every progression that he has in this play is covered. So basically, this is a Kellen Moore problem and not a Jalen Hurts problem. That was his point, basically. But we have Dan Orlovsky talking about this. Here it is.
No one was open. Now, if you were asking me, is this a quarterback like a Lamar or a Joe Burrow that is a sudden quarterback that does play bang, bang in their pass game, then maybe he could fit a 5-yard route in here or there. But that's not Jalen's game. That's never been Jalen's game, is like this crazy, on-time, rhythm-centric quarterback with their pass game. So, no one was open. I think the second thing, and I want to be very clear, this wasn't like an A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith problem problem where they're just getting gloved up. I truly believe that Green Bay had a great feel for what pass concepts were coming out of what formations or what situations. The big thing is this. There's very little in the middle of the field for Philly's pass game, pass concept-wise. There's very little layered pass concepts. It is a little bit easier for a defense to defend, in my opinion. I think that's where my concern is a little bit more than, Jalen.
Oh, so we lost it there, but you get the point of what Orlovsky's saying. He's saying the play designs are not, but then he contradicted himself because he said this is the quick passing game is not Jalen's game. Well, it's not Jalen's game, then why would they put it in there? So my question is, why isn't it Jalen's game? Like for a fully developed offense, that's got to be part of Jalen's game. So that's where I leave Orlovsky. But I get his point when he breaks it down with the film, and you have to see it, that the patterns were not quick developing patterns, and hence they were coverable. And this guy waits for it to be open. And so another quarterback weighs on this, and he goes down that path. And of course, he's known as the Beard. Now, go ahead. Fitzmagic.
Yeah, so
Fitzpatrick, who has played a lot more football in the NFL than Orlovsky, but it doesn't matter if you're a quarterback. You've been coached, and you know concepts, and you've been in film rooms and the whole bit. And he has the opposite view.
Yeah, so underneath the video that Orlovsky tweeted out showing that the Packers were all over the Eagles receivers in the passing game, Ryan Fitzpatrick comments underneath of it. I don't agree with this take at all. The drop-back pass game is about timing, accuracy, and making quick decisions. Just because there aren't guys with 5 yards of space around them doesn't mean they aren't open. So he's disagreeing with Orlovsky, saying, no, Hurts basically has to throw the guy open. You've seen that before. In the NFL, you're not going to have wide-open receivers all the time. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards Orlovsky, though, on it because I did watch a lot of the passing game again. There was not a lot to be made in the game for Jalen Hurts. And I also think, Mike, when they went up 10-0 in that football game, and it became clear to everyone, including you because you texted me, that the Packers had nothing offensively. I think the game plan at that point for Jalen Hurts is don't take any chances. Protect the football. They're not going to be able to score enough points to beat us, so why take any chances down the field? Why put the ball into any tight windows? And Jalen did exactly what we needed him to do. Don't turn it over and win the damn game.
His MO has not been to take chances all year. And you know, we go back to the start of the year, there was that transformation. But when Fitzpatrick says, like, throw a guy open, look at the patterns we're talking about that Orlovsky looked at. You're not throwing the guys open. Those aren't patterns where you can throw a guy open. These are long curls, and you know where you got a guy that's trying to glove you, as Orlovsky would say. So yeah, throwing a guy open is when you got a quick slant, boom, you can throw a guy open, but not on those patterns. So I don't know where to go on this. The play design, the thing that bothered me that Orlovsky said was Jalen's not that type of quarterback. Well, let's become that type of quarterback. Like, I don't understand how you work with this guy all year and not design better pass calls to get quick yardage. This is the thing I don't understand about the Eagles' offense.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Pro Football Focus numbers here. Looks like Jalen threw 5 passes in between the numbers. So when Orlovsky's talking about it not really utilizing the middle of the field, yeah, they didn't use the middle of the field that often. Only 5. It looks like a lot more was to the outside. 4 of his completions were behind the line of scrimmage, so they tried to keep things quick, short in that respect. But we've seen Hurts do it before. I know that it's not a huge part of his game like Orlovsky's talking about, but we have seen Hurts make big throws at times to win games. He doesn't have to have 300 yards on Sunday against the Rams for them to win that game. They're going to lean on the run. I know you're saying the Rams are going to come out and try to stop the run. I'm sure they were trying to stop the run when they gave up over 300 yards in Week 12.
I also think they're going to try to put heat on Hurts. And I think that so benefits the Eagles because that allows him to then play free, dance out of there, and get 20. Like, those are the plays that are going to break the Rams back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm pulling up now. I want to see how often do they normally blitz the Rams. So, they're kind of like middle of the pack. They blitz 23%
but
of the
they've
time.
got good rushers. They've got really good pass rushers. And occasionally they'll throw, like against Darnold last night, it's easier to do because he's got happy feet also. He's not a slider, as Troy Aikman was pointing out last night. He doesn't slide in the pocket. He tries to maneuver and run, and choppily run. Hurts is going to, like, if you do that to Hurts is going to escape you. Like, you can't let him get outside you. And I think the Rams are going to let him get outside when they do sort of that blitz. He's savvy enough to dodge that guy who's coming in from the corner.
He is savvy enough to dodge that guy coming in from the corner. And then, to your point, he dodges that guy. He's also going to make a positive play when he takes it on his legs.
Yeah.
So I don't see the Rams having that same level of success like they've had. And I'm just looking. I told you that the defense has been impressive the last 4 games that their starters have played. They only averaged 8 points against, which is wild. But I'm looking at the teams they did it against. They did it against the 49ers, who are basically dead. The New York Jets, who, come on, they're the Jets. They did it against the Arizona Cardinals, who are not a very good team. And they did it against the Vikings last night with Sam Darnold at quarterback. This Rams team, they're not going to have success on either side of the ball, in my opinion, against this Philadelphia Eagles team.
All right, so I'm going to try to tell everybody what you're missing about this Eagles team if you're focused purely on the fact that Jalen Hurts doesn't throw for 300 yards. But a member of the family even kind of got in on Jalen. And we're going to play that audio after this.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.